everyone. I decided to go ahead and do the sauce for the bread pudding because I think, what is bread pudding without sauce? So here is the bread pudding. It's all done and it's been setting out for just a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my stove on medium. And what I'm going to do with that sauce is I'm not going to dip it out one by one. I'm just going to pour the sauce over it and let that marry into that bread pudding. Hello, Marie. I'm doing the sauce for this bread pudding that I done earlier. And this is what it looks like after I got it done. And I've had it setting out for probably 20 minutes or so, and I wanted to get it all settled, but that was the biscuits that I had left over that I used. So that's the base, and the custard and all that is in it. So now I'm just going to make a simple sauce that would go over it, and I'm not going to do it separate. I'm just going to put it right in there. Just put it over the top and let it lay on top of there. So I got an egg here, and I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I got one. That's not the way I used to make it with an egg, but I've got it there just in case. But anyway, I want to take the anytime you use flour in something, you want to stir it around in your sugar so it won't clump up. Believe me, I've had plenty of clumped stuff from adding flour and not adding it in with my sugar. So I've got about a half a cup of brown sugar I'm going to throw in this pan. And I've got this flour mixed with some white sugar, which the white sugar was probably a tablespoon or two, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to mix all that together. Mix all that in together in the pan. This is an old pan, but it's thick and I like to make the sauces in it. And I'm one of them people, if it's not broke, don't fix it, don't get a new one. So this one's been a good one. I pull it out every time I need an extra pan too. So you can see when you mix that sugar in with your flour what it looks like. It's really in there good and not any great big clumps or anything like that. So now I think I will use that egg and just throw it in there. So it'll give it a little bit more of a pudding texture, not much. We'll mix that up in there. So see, that's what it looks like now when you mix your one egg in. There's a little bit more of that. I don't want to lose any of that flour and sugar at all. Mix that up in there. Now, let me go over here. And grab just a little tad bit of butter to put in that. And scrape this butter dish. I had some on there, but I guess some little some guy I know got into it. He's called my husband. He likes his toast. So I'm going to stir that in there, the butter. You can use more butter than that, but since I only have about a tablespoon in that dish, I'm going to use it. And you can melt it first, but I don't want to fool with it because it's going to be just as good. Then I'm going to take just a pinch, and you don't have to put this anyway in there, but I've learned from baking through the years that just a pinch of salt will take that ugly, sweet, too sweet of a taste out. So I'm going to put that in there. So see, we have a nice good base that we're going to work with for that sauce. And now I'm going to put, you can put 2 cups of, cup and a half of milk, or I put some heavy cream because I had it and I needed to use it. So I put half heavy cream and half milk. You can do whatever you want. And usually if I was making, if I would have been making sauce for individually like we did in the restaurant, got in the sink. When we did it in the restaurant, I'd scoop it out with a ice cream scoop, and then I would scoop this out and just drizzle it down over that scoop. It looked like bread pudding ice cream scoop. But I'm not going to do that for us. So we're just going to put it on top there and throw it on top of that good bread pudding. So in the bread pudding, you'll have your, like your bread pudding, your custard taste. And with the, let me see here. You'll have your custard taste. And with your sauce, you'll have your, like a vanilla custardy sauce. And like I said, my Tupperware lasagna pan has a lid to it that goes to it, so I can put it on that. And I just did dishes, and then I fed my husband, so I'll probably be doing a few more. I hope you are all having a good night. I hope you're all getting through this really good. All my floors are swept, and hardwood floors are disinfected and bleached, so I'm good to go the rest of the evening. And I'm just now drying a bunch of towels. I done a load of towels today. So you just want to keep doing this, you know, until it thickens up. And it takes a few minutes. But I wanted Maria to see how to make the simple, basic kind of bread pudding. And I've made it back at the cabin. I used to make it all the time when we had stale bread or something. And so it's not anything new to us. And actually, the lady that bought a trailer down on the other land from us is the one that taught me how to do the old stuff. I didn't know much about anything, too much, when I was young, and we came from the city, and everything I got came from Kroger's, so I thought that's where everything came from, was Kroger's. So I'm glad you're having a good night, Cassie. So to me, everything came from Kroger's. And I got down here and found out it didn't come from Kroger's. Yes, you can be that naive when you're a city person. And Mom always done everything for us, so I didn't know a whole lot about only what I watched her do. Chicken tacos with refried beans and beef taco baked for dinner. That sounds really good. Actually, I was just talking earlier about, I'm going to put the rest of this in because I don't want to waste it. I was talking earlier about taking chicken and chicken breasts and cooking them and shredding them and putting the taco seasoning in with them and making taco in a bag with my husband. You know, and instead of putting the hamburger or whatever in, put the shredded up chopped chicken with it. So I'll probably do that sometime this week. But like I said, you know, you've seen all the potato salad I've made in a week's time. So next time it's going to be something else. It's starting to get thick. We take a spoon, and how you tell is, see, that's starting to get thick. It's on the back of that spoon. So I'll just do it a couple more minutes or swirls. Or since I'm pouring it over it, I want it just a little bit thicker. This, I have no idea. I've had it for years. Probably at least, see, this is getting thick now. I'm going to turn it off. I probably had this, well, I know 30 years because I had it down at the other house. Now see this, how that got on that spoon? And this is a thick consistency right there. And if you cook it too long, you are going to have lumps because it's going to start cooking down deep on the bottom. So we've got the sauce made in a jiffy. So here's our beautiful bread pudding on our other live video. And I love it. It looks perfect to me. But this sauce, this pudding sauce, is going to go over top of that, and anything that the custard missed, it'll soften it up. So I'm really happy with it. And you can't beat homemade pudding sauce. So see, that's just brown sugar, flour, milk. And one thing you do want to do, I almost forgot, guys. You don't want to forget your vanilla. So I put about 2 teaspoons in, maybe not quite that much, and stir that in because that's going to give it that extra flavor it needs. Now, the lady that taught me how to make this, she didn't use vanilla or nothing. I mean, that's the way her grandmother made it, was without vanilla. All she used was either water or milk, flour and sugar, and that's it. But I had to have some vanilla in it. So it was just as good without it. It made it even taste more old-fashioned. So I wanted to add vanilla though. And she did not use brown sugar. She used regular white sugar, regular white flour, and either water or milk. That's what she used to make it. Simple as could be. So that loosened it up a little bit from not being so thick. So we got it right like that. Now this comes the good part that I've been looking for. We're going to take this, and I'm going to, I hope you can see this over here. Yeah, you can see it. And I'm just going to take and pour that over. Let me put it in here. I'm going to pour, I don't want to put it up there because that's hot. So I'm going to pour that over this bread pudding. And if you want to, you can make the maple sauce to go in it. Whatever you choose. But I would say the maple sauce would be good. And all you would do, instead of putting vanilla in it, you would put maple extract instead of vanilla extract. Let me try to get all the edges here and all the tops. me see here. I am not near. So I'll just grab me another spoon in here. Okay. Now I'll just take that and get every bit of that I can out to go over the top of these mountaintops is what I call them. Now this is really going to be a delicious dessert and an old-fashioned one. So I got plenty of sauce here. I'll just take and put over everything. But in answer to the question, is this a Wagner? I don't think so at all. But I do have some Wagner iron that I use on my shows because I like the iron. And I've been blessed with some. They're old too. They're not just something you buy in the store. They were already seasoned. And so there's our pudding. Get every little piece I can to put on top of that. I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be yummy. I know a girl, a lady, that will probably want some. And that is my daughter, because she loves bread pudding. So I'm just going to let that sit over that now and get over them high peaks. And let that soak down in there for a while. And then I got another mess to clean now. And like I say on every video live, I made the mess, so I made it myself, so I'll be cleaning it myself. So here is, hey, I seen a piece over there that don't have none on it. See, you got to get up and look, I guess. I don't want to miss any of that. There we go. Here is the bread pudding. Let me get you over here and let you see it. Let's see. Really good. So here you go. There's the sauce pudding over the bread pudding. And I'm just going to let that soak in there. And marry in together with the custard into the biscuits. And there we go. I know I do have spatulas, Angie Taylor, but I didn't use them. I always use spatulas, but I didn't use them. I just was grabbing whatever I could find right here. But on most of my videos, you'll see a couple Tupperware spatulas sitting out every time I do something. So there we go, guys. It's really pretty. And I just want to taste that sauce. Just taste it a little bit. And you've probably seen my mess of flour. So, it's everything I thought it was. You know, the only thing that would make this better is if you all was sitting around my table to eat it with me and be able to share that in a cup of coffee or whatever you drink. Try this. Maria, you will not be disappointed with this recipe. So just go on my other video and get how to make the, and if you only have stale bread, use it. You don't have to use biscuits. I only used them because I had them left over and they were in the freezer. But use it. Chunk your bread if you have to, or French bread, whatever you got. I used hot dog buns in this with it. And it's all about the ingredients over the bread. So this, Maria, you was wanting this recipe. There it is. And there's the sauce. I felt kind of bad about showing you how to do the bread pudding and not showing you how to do the sauce, because the sauce is what makes it all too. So, you know what? My husband and I have a date. We are not going anywhere, but we're going to watch something on TV together, something we hardly ever do. It's not news. It's not about the coronavirus. It's something that's going to make us laugh together. So when we do that, we'll dish us up some of this bread pudding. And then when I'm done, I'll just put the lid on it and put it in the refrigerator. This is a wonderful pudding, or bread pudding, that you can take a big spoon out and put it on a plate and nuke it, microwave it for less than a minute. And you've got, it comes right back up the way it tasted when it came out when we did it. So this is a no fail. I mean, your family, your children, and everybody will love this bread pudding. Yes, Christine. Go ahead and make some. It's an easy make. And it's really, oh, man, it's good. And it's not something I make a lot. You know, the only reason why I made this bread pudding was because Maria asked me to do it. And it's going to make a wonderful treat for Tom and I this week. So we'll have us a treat. Yes, you're welcome, Angie. Anyway, God bless y'all. And like I said, this is the only thing this needs now is some good friends to eat it with and to fellowship with. God bless you all. I love every one of you.